Most people think that to make an ex regret leaving, you have to win an argument. You think you need to prove how much they hurt you or explain why the breakup was a mistake. But as the legendary master of human influence Dale Carnegie once said, you cannot win an argument. If you lose it, you lose it. And if you win it, you lose it. Right now, you're trying to win your ex back through logic and emotional pressure. You are debating your worth. You are pleading your case. But in the world of human relations, the more you try to convince someone to love you, the more you convince them that they were right to walk away. You are making the fatal mistake of making the breakup all about your needs, your pain, and your desire for a second chance. Dale Carnegie's secret to making anyone regret losing you isn't about being right. It's about a psychological shift in importance. Carnegie understood that the deepest urge in human nature is the desire to be important. When you chase your ex, you are feeding their importance while starving your own. You are making them the prize and yourself the beggar. To make them regret breaking up, we are going to apply Carnegie's golden rule of influence. We are going to stop the argument entirely. We are going to stop being the needy party and start using the principles of indirect persuasion. We are going to make them feel the sudden, cold absence of the person who made them feel important. And we are going to replace that with a version of you that is so confident, so agreeable, and so high value that their own ego will start to scream that they made the biggest mistake of their life. Today, I'm going to show you how to stop chasing and start influencing. We are going to use the Carnegie method to flip the script so that they feel the need to win you back. Welcome. If you are watching this, you are likely stuck in a painful loop. You are trying to convince your ex that you are good enough for them. You are listing your positive qualities, reminding them of the memories you shared, and trying to logically explain why the breakup is irrational. But as we established, logic has no place in the court of emotions. You are trying to sell a product, yourself, to a customer who has already said, no, thank you. Dale Carnegie revolutionized the world not by teaching people how to argue, but by teaching them how to become irresistibly influential. He knew that you cannot push a rope. You have to pull it. In a breakup, you are pushing. You are pushing your needs, your sadness, and your desperation onto them. And human nature dictates that when you push, they pull away. Today, we are going to flip this dynamic. We are going to move you from a position of begging for attention to a position of commanding interest. We are going to use the psychological laws of how to win friends and influence people to turn you into a person of such high social and emotional intelligence that your ex will feel a deep, nagging sense of loss. They won't just miss you, they will miss the way you made them feel, which is a far more powerful addiction. But before we unlock the 3 Carnegie principles that will rewrite your breakup story, I need you to join this community of self-mastery. We are building a legion of men and women who refuse to be victims of their circumstances. Hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. And to solidify your mindset shift today, I want you to go to the comment section and type this specific affirmation. I influence, I don't chase. Type it now. I influence, I don't chase. Because the moment you stop chasing is the moment you start becoming the person they regret losing. Now let's open the manual on human influence and apply it to the art of the breakup. To understand how to get your ex back, we must first define what a breakup actually is in the landscape of human relations. You might see it as a tragedy, a mistake, or a misunderstanding. But psychologically, a breakup is simply an argument. It is the ultimate disagreement. Your ex has presented a thesis. My life will be better without you in it. And currently you are presenting a counter-thesis. No, your life is better with me. This brings us to Dale Carnegie's principle number 1. The only way to get the best of an argument is to avoid it. Read that again. He didn't say win the argument. He said avoid it. Right now, you are violating this fundamental law of influence. Every text you send trying to explain your side, every letter you write apologizing for the past, and every phone call where you try to reason with them is an act of arguing. You are telling them, directly or indirectly, that their decision was wrong. And here is the brutal truth about human nature that Carnegie spent his life teaching. You cannot win an argument with an emotional mind. When you tell someone they are wrong, especially about their own feelings, you do not change their mind. You force them to double down. Psychology calls this the consistency bias. Once a human being makes a difficult decision, like breaking up, their ego is wired to defend that decision at all costs. They built a mental wall to keep you out. Every time you try to convince them to come back, you are taking a sledgehammer to that wall, And what happens? They don't let you in. They reinforce the wall. They add barbed wire. They hire guards. Your pressure creates their resistance. If you want to enter a fortress, you don't blow up the gate. You wait for them to open it. And the only way to make them open the gate is to stop attacking it. The anatomy of the breakup argument. Let's dissect what is happening in your ex's brain right now. They expect you to fight. They expect you to cry, to beg, and to argue. They have mentally rehearsed this scenario. They have prepared their defense lawyers, a list of all the reasons why you are bad for them. When you chase them, you are following their script. You are playing the role they assigned to you, the desperate ex. You are making it easy for them. You are validating their belief that they are the prize and you are the one who lost value. As long as you are arguing for your worth, you are admitting that your worth is up for debate. High-value things do not need to be debated. Gold does not argue that it is valuable. It just sits there, being gold. The Carnegie judo, winning by surrender. So how do we apply Carnegie's principle to this nightmare? We stop the argument. We drop the rope. We do what is known in martial arts as judo, using the opponent's own force against them. If your ex pushes you away and you push back, you have a struggle. But if your ex pushes you away and you pull away faster, they lose their balance. They fall forward. This brings us to the most counterintuitive move in the entire strategy. You must agree with the breakup. This is the Carnegie shift. You look them in the eye, or send one final composed text, and you say, in essence, "You are right. We shouldn't be together right now. I accept your decision." Do you understand the psychological nuclear bomb this drops on their ego? You disarm their defenses. They had their shields up, ready to block your begging. When you agree with them, you bypass the shield entirely. You cannot fight someone who is agreeing with you. You destroy the consistency bias. They wanted to break up. By agreeing, you are now on the same side as them. You have aligned with their reality. You are no longer the enemy trying to steal their freedom. You are a rational adult who respects their freedom. You create a pattern interrupt. They expected you to crash and burn. By standing tall and agreeing, you violate their expectations. This creates confusion. Wait, why aren't they fighting for me? Did I mean so little to them? Or, are they stronger than I thought? The magic formula of agreement. Carnegie famously said, "There is magic, positive magic, in such phrases as, 'I may be wrong. I frequently am. Let's examine the facts.' In a breakup context, your magic phrase is simply, 'I understand.' When you use this technique, you are applying Carnegie's rule of saving face. You are allowing them to leave without making a scene, which preserves their dignity. But more importantly, it preserves yours. Think about the last time a salesperson tried to force you to buy something. The more they pushed, the more you hated them. Now imagine a salesperson who said, "You know what? This product actually isn't right for you. You should look elsewhere." Suddenly you trust them. Suddenly you wonder, wait, why isn't it right for me? You become curious. You want what you can't have. The vacuum of validation. By avoiding the argument, you create a vacuum. The argument was the fuel for their anger. As long as they are fighting you, they don't have to feel the loss of you. Anger is a great distraction from sadness. When you stop arguing, the anger evaporates because it has no target. And what is left behind? Silence. In that silence, the reality of the breakup finally hits them. They aren't fighting off a crazy ex anymore. They are just alone. They have to sit with their own thoughts. And because you left with dignity, because you agreed with them, those thoughts aren't, "Thank God I escaped." Those thoughts become, "Did I make a mistake?" You have effectively planted the seed of doubt. You didn't plant it by screaming it at them. You planted it by stepping back and letting them find it themselves. The strategic no. Carnegie taught that a no is often a yes waiting for enough time to pass. But if you force the yes too early, the no becomes permanent. By accepting their no right now, you are preserving the possibility of a yes in the future. You are showing them that you are emotionally intelligent enough to control your impulses. This is the ultimate display of high status. Low-status people argue because they need the other person to validate them. High-status people do not argue because they validate themselves. So the first step in the Carnegie method is the hardest. You must lose the battle to win the war. You must look at the person you love and let them go. Not because you don't want them, but because you know that letting go is the only way to influence them to come back. You are not giving up. You are changing the game from pursuit to attraction. You have avoided the argument. You have disarmed the enemy. You have confused their ego. Now they are standing in the open field, shields down, wondering where you went. This is exactly where we want them. Now that the walls are down, we can begin the real work of influence. We can move to the second phase, arousing in them an eager want. Now that you have stopped the argument and laid down your weapons, we move to the offensive. But this is not a military offense. It is a psychological one. We are going to apply the most powerful principle in Dale Carnegie's entire philosophy. The only way on earth to influence other people is to talk about what they want and show them how to get it. This sounds simple, yet 99% of people going through a breakup ignore it completely. Let's look at your recent behavior. When you texted your ex, what did you talk about? You likely talked about your pain, your sadness, your desire to fix things, your inability to sleep. Carnegie would ask you a brutal question. Why should they care? This is not to say your ex is a monster. It is simply human nature. Carnegie famously used the analogy of going fishing. He said, I personally am very fond of strawberries and cream, but I have found that for some strange reason, fish prefer worms. So when I go fishing, I didn't think about what I wanted. I thought about what they wanted. Right now, you are trying to catch your ex, the fish, by baiting the hook with strawberries and cream, your feelings, and you are confused why they aren't biting. To them, your desperation isn't delicious, it's repulsive. To catch them, you have to bait the hook with the worm. You have to figure out what they want, not what you want. The selfish gene of attraction. You must accept a hard truth. Your ex will never come back for you. They will only come back for themselves. They will come back because they believe their life will be better, happier, and more exciting with you than without you. This is the eager want Carnegie speaks of. You cannot force them to come back. You must make them want to come back. So what does your ex want right now? They want to feel free. They want to be happy. They want to feel justified in their decision. They want to avoid drama. When you chase them, you are attacking all four of these desires. You are killing their freedom, you are making them unhappy with guilt, and you are creating drama. You are literally the anti-bait. To arouse an eager want, you must become the embodiment of what they crave, the gift of missing out, FOMO. Carnegie taught that people value what is rare. Scarcity creates value. What is the worm that every human being wants? Validation and status. When you were together, you provided this validation for free. You were the constant. And to create an eager want, you must remove the supply. This is not just no contact, this is strategic silence. When you disappear, you are tapping into their primal fear of loss. Suddenly, the freedom they wanted so badly feels empty. They wanted to be single, but they didn't want to be forgotten. By disappearing, you are aligning with their desire, freedom, but you are giving it to them in a way that tastes bitter. You are showing them, you wanted space? Here is the entire universe of space. I am gone. This triggers curiosity, and curiosity is the first step of desire. Rebranding your product. Think of yourself as a product on a shelf. Your ex stopped buying the product because they felt the features, fun, intimacy, support were no longer worth the cost. Arguments, boredom, stress. You cannot sell the same product again. You must rebrand. Carnegie emphasized the importance of a smile, of being interested in others, of being a source of joy. During your time apart, you must undergo a radical transformation of your vibe. If you were anxious, you must become the chill stoic. If you were controlling, you must become the carefree spirit. If you were dependent, you must become the ambitious leader. You don't tell them this. You show it. In the age of social media, this is your billboard. But, and this is critical, you do not post for them. You post for the world. When they stalk your profile, and they will, they shouldn't see sad quotes or black screens. They should see you living a life that looks fun. They see you hiking. They see you laughing with friends. They see you looking 10% better than you did when you were together. What does this do? It appeals to their self-interest. The human brain thinks, wait, that person looks happy. I want to be happy. If I go back to them, maybe I will get some of that happiness. You are no longer the ex who brings drama. You are now the high-value person who brings joy. You have baited the hook with the worm they actually want. The soft influence Carnegie taught us to make the other person feel that the idea is his or hers. This is the ultimate manipulation in the positive sense. If you tell them, we should get back together, it is your idea. They will resist it. You need them to think, I need to get that person back. It must be their idea. How do you do this? By becoming the unattainable prize. People want what they cannot have. It is the ultimate eager want. When you eventually do interact after a period of silence, you must be warm, polite, but distant. You treat them like an old friend or a distant cousin. You are happy, you smile, Carnegie's rule, but you do not give them your heart. This confuses their ego. They think, why aren't they chasing me? Am I not important anymore? To regain their sense of importance, the deepest human urge, they will start chasing you. They will start texting you. And when they do, they will believe it was their idea. They will think, I miss them. I want to talk to them. They won't realize that you engineered this entire process by simply applying Carnegie's rule of focusing on their desires, to be important, to be happy, rather than your own neediness. The pivot point. The pivot happens in your own mind first. You stop waking up thinking, how do I get them back? And start thinking, how do I become a person that everyone, including them, would die to be around? Carnegie said, success is getting what you want. Happiness is wanting what you get. Right now, your ex thinks success is getting away from you. You have to change the definition of success in their brain. Success must mean being with you. And that only happens when you equals high value, low pressure, and high reward. The eager want is not aroused by pity. No one dates someone out of pity for long. The eager want is aroused by greed. Yes, greed. You want them to look at your new life, your new confidence, and your new independence and feel greedy. You want them to think, that belongs to me. Why is someone else going to get that version of them? This is how you use their selfishness against them. You turn their self-interest into your greatest ally. So, the homework for this chapter is internal. You must kill the beggar inside you. Beggars are ignored. You must birth the prize. Prizes are won. You are baiting the hook with the best version of yourself. A version that doesn't need them but is willing to let them join the ride if they earn it. When you stop talking about what you want, the relationship, and start showing them what they want, a high-value partner, the dynamic flips instantly. They stop running away and start turning around. They smell the bait. And if you hold the line, they will bite. We have now reached the tipping point. You have stopped the argument. Chapter 1. You have aroused an eager want by becoming a high-value mystery. Chapter 2. Now we face the inevitable result. Contact. Whether they reach out to you with a breadcrumb text, or you eventually make a strategic light move to open the door, this is the moment where 90% of people blow it. They get excited, they think, it worked, they are back, and they immediately revert to their old needy behavior. They start pushing for the relationship again, and just like that, the door slams shut. To avoid this, we must apply one of Dale Carnegie's most difficult yet powerful rules. If you are wrong, admit it quickly and emphatically. You might be thinking, but I wasn't wrong. They left me. Put your ego aside. Remember, we are not trying to be right. We are trying to be effective. In your ex's mind, you were wrong. You were wrong for being needy, for being argumentative, or simply for letting the relationship stagnate. As long as they believe you think you are innocent, they will keep their guard up. They will see you as a threat to their peace. The psychological jujitsu of Apology Carnegie tells the story of a man who was about to be yelled at by a police officer for not having his dog on a leash. Instead of waiting for the officer to scold him, the man immediately said, "Officer, you caught me. I am guilty. I have no excuses." The officer, who was ready to fight, suddenly had no one to fight. To maintain his own feeling of importance, the officer became lenient and let him go. You are going to do the same with your ex. When communication opens up, you are going to use the clean slate technique. You are going to apologize for your behavior during and after the breakup. You will say something like, "I've been doing a lot of thinking lately, and I realized I handled things poorly when we split. I put a lot of pressure on you when you just needed space. I was being selfish, and I'm sorry for that. You were right to do what you did." Analyze the power of that statement. You were right. These are the 3 words every human being is dying to hear. By validating their decision, you become a safe person. You are no longer trying to convince them they made a mistake. I was selfish. By taking the blame, you steal their thunder. They can't accuse you of being needy if you have already admitted it. I'm sorry. This closes the chapter. It tells their brain, the old version of him, her, is gone. This is a new person who has self-awareness. This clears the emotional debt between you. It removes the resentment. It is the safety valve that releases all the pressure they have been holding on to. The principle of importance. The ultimate addiction. Now that the air is cleared, how do you get them addicted to you again? Carnegie's deepest insight was this. The deepest principle in human nature is the craving to be appreciated. Note the word craving. It is not a wish. It is a hunger. It is as real as the hunger for food. Your ex left because somewhere along the line they stopped feeling important around you. Maybe they felt nagged, smothered, or ignored. To win them back, you must become the sole source of their importance. When you start talking again, you must follow Carnegie's rule. Let the other person do a great deal of the talking. Most people try to impress their ex by bragging about their new life. I did this, I bought that. Wrong. That makes you feel important, but it makes them feel small. Instead, you must become a master interviewer. You ask them about their life, their struggles, their wins, and when they speak, you listen. Not just waiting for your turn to speak, but truly listening. You give them lavish appreciation. If they tell you about a project at work, you don't just say, cool. You say, wow, that sounds incredibly difficult. You always were so good at handling pressure. I've always admired that about you. Boom. You just fed their soul. You are giving them a drug they cannot get anywhere else. The world is full of critics. The world is full of people trying to outdo each other. When they are with you, they feel like a king or a queen. They feel seen. They feel understood. They will leave the conversation thinking, I missed this. I feel so good when I talk to them. They won't know why. They won't realize it's a technique. They will just feel a gravitational pull back to you. The yes set momentum. Carnegie taught that you should get the other person saying yes, yes immediately. If you ask for the relationship back, the big yes too soon, you will get a no. You need to build a staircase of small yeses. It's good to clear the air, isn't it? Yes. We can at least be mature adults about this, right? Yes. I saw that new movie came out, you probably loved it, right? Yes. Ideally, we should grab a coffee just to catch up, no pressure, right? Yes. By the time they are sitting in front of you at the coffee shop, their brain is already in a pattern of agreeing with you. You have reduced the friction to zero. The safety mechanism. The biggest reason exes don't come back is fear. They fear that if they give you an inch, you will take a mile. They fear that if they agree to dinner, you will start crying and begging again. You must constantly signal safety. You do this by having what Carnegie calls a definite purpose coupled with detachment. You are friendly, you are warm, you are appreciative, but you are not grasping. You are happy to see them, but you are also happy to leave. This confuses the avoidant part of their brain. The alarm bells that usually ring, warning, trap, remain silent. Because they feel safe, they lower the drawbridge. They let you back into the castle of their heart, thinking it is just for a visit. But because you are now baiting them with appreciation, importance, and high status, once you are inside, they won't want you to leave. The final transformation. Carnegie's methods are not just about tricks, they are about character. To do this effectively, you must genuinely become a person who appreciates others. You must genuinely become a person who can admit their faults. When your ex sees that you have humiliated your own ego to apologize, and that you are secure enough to listen to them without making it about yourself, they will realize something terrifying. I made a mistake. This person is rare. In a world of narcissists, the person who makes others feel important is a magnet. You are not manipulating them into loving you. You are creating an environment where it is impossible not to love you. You have removed the argument. You have established the want. You have provided the safety. Now the path is clear. They don't have to fight through a jungle of drama to get to you. You have paved the road. All they have to do is walk it. And believe me, when the road is paved with appreciation and validation, they will run. Dale Carnegie famously wrote, "Knowledge isn't power until it is applied." You now possess the psychological blueprint that has influenced presidents, CEOs, and leaders for a century. But this map is useless if you stay in the territory of the victim. If you leave this video and immediately send a long, sad text to your ex, you have learned nothing. You are back to arguing. You are back to being strawberries and cream instead of the worm. The path to making your ex regret the breakup is not paved with tears, threats, or grand gestures of romance. It is paved with self-mastery. It is about having the discipline to agree with them when they expect a fight. It is about having the courage to disappear and let them feel the weight of your absence. And it is about having the humility to admit your faults and make them feel important when the time is right. When you execute these 3 steps, you stop being the ex they escaped, and you become the person that got away. You flip the script of regret. They will look at your empty space, they will remember your appreciation, and they will realize that leaving you was an act of self-sabotage. Regret is not something you force on them. Regret is the natural byproduct of them realizing that your value exceeds their ego. If you are ready to stop chasing and start influencing, then this is the channel for you. We are building the strongest community of high-value individuals on YouTube. Do not leave without hitting that subscribe button. And remember the contract you signed at the beginning of this video. Go to the comments one last time and declare it to the world. I influence, I don't chase. The chase is over. The attraction has begun. I'll see you in the next video.